Excuse me, Black Maddie. Once again in the garage, trying to figure stuff out. You know, sometimes you start working on your bike, you're doing the most simplest thing, right? Things you've done 1,000 times in the past. Simple, putting a cap on. And then someday, just the stars align, the things come down, and like the simplest thing doesn't want to work. As you know, I'm here with Titan. And Titan is my baby right now. I've been doing a lot of work with her. There's plenty of videos that I have if you want to check some of those out, of everything that I've done so far as maintenance and stuff like that. One of the things that I did was drain all of the brake fluid as well as the clutch fluid and get all new fluids. And I swear it was fine before I started. I swear. Nothing leaked from this thing. I take off the master cylinder here. The rear brake cylinder, master cylinder reservoir, and pop it off. I mean, the first time I got a little bit lazy. I left the cover on. Where is it? Where is this thing here? I left this cover on it, and I just kind of reached around and kind of monkeyed it off of there. And, you know, so I put it back on, and I was riding, and it was splashing all over, you know, the engine. So I'm looking like, okay, you know, I can see I probably didn't put it on too well, but went back in there, and I tried this thing snake tight. I tried it just a little bit of pressure on there against the diaphragm that's in there. I don't know if it's the rubber diaphragm or the cap that may have gotten cross-threaded or something. I don't know. But a couple times now I've taken it for a ride, and here it is leaking. And so I'm back here once again messing around with it, and this time I went super tight on it. So I'm going to check it one more time here. I've just been kind of wiping my finger and nothing. Okay. Well, I don't know. So now when I got the bike, as you guys know, this bike was a barn find of sorts. I found it out in, I believe it was Silver Creek. I don't know. I have to look. But way out at the barn. You can see the video. I have the new addition to the family of when I first bought it. I didn't record any of my interaction of actually buying it, but it was basically an older guy that had it. It was too much bike for him or his son that, you know, they were into bikes. They, you know, just let it sit there, and it sat for a long time. So a lot of the maintenance stuff needs to be done. And I mean, you wouldn't think the rubber inside of this reservoir would be getting dried up or anything. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's in good shape. It could be that. Could be the cap. On a forum, somebody gave me the idea that maybe you warped your cap or cross-threaded the cap when you're putting it on. But the first couple of times, I didn't do like snake tight. This time, I gripped that thing and I grinded down until it stopped turning. And then I tried it again and got a little more turn out of it. And so far, I mean, yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing so far. I don't know. It was a little bit lower. So when I got it, you know, it was on the low setting of fluid, and I took a little bit out. I had this a little bit higher to where, you know, it was touching that rim there, so that may have helped out with it leaking. So I took a little bit out, but I do remember it was pretty low, and maybe this was an existing issue with them. Maybe they stripped the cap. It couldn't have been my fault, of course, but I don't know. So this is just a little BS stuff, a simple little cap that will put toxic chemicals all over your nice pretty chrome and ruin things up, and all over my pant leg. So so dealing with that, that's just one frustration, that's all. But the point of what I'm out here to do today is I got a tire for the rear, and I really need to get that on there. I've been burning off the last bit of the last one that's on there, just playing around. So it's time to get that thing off of there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it ready for that. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know. I may just give up and order just a whole new cup and lid and all that for it and just start over. I don't know. But what I'm going to do today is get this thing up in the air and get it ready for me to pop that tire off and go over there and get a fresh tire. And what I'm going to be using today is a blast from the past. 2 years ago, you may have seen my video, the No Name Company, Is It Worth It, for the Scissor Jack. And I'm going to be putting my Scissor Jack to work today. We're going to see how it's been holding up, how it's doing now, the condition, and what I've been using it for. I got it stashed right here, nice and tidy. See how it just fits on a shelf? It's perfect. Now I got this originally because I was in an apartment and I didn't have any room at all. So it was pretty much a necessity. But as you see, I mean, besides a little dirt of, you know, the bike and just stepping on it and stuff like that, it is in great shape. It is still working. It still works as it should. It's smooth. It goes up, pumps up. It wiggles and wobbles and, you know, levels itself. I was kind of skeptical. You may remember from the video that I initially thought that there was a dent in it, but I've been lifting my bikes up and man, there is no dents in this at all. So even the rubber is holding up, and I like the way that I'm using this, so you know, during the winter time when I was doing projects and stuff, I was jacking these bikes up and having them on this thing for days, like weeks, just sitting on here. I didn't reinforce it, nothing. So the scissor action is holding up. It's smooth still. It's holding strong. I feel confident leaving my bike on here unstrapped. So when I see a lot of these other jacks that are out there and are like hundreds of dollars, it's just hilarious to me. Like I can't imagine why anyone would pay that much money for something like that when there's, you know, products, there's a machine, there's a tool that will do the same job. Why am I paying for a name, you know? So you know, I really dig it. I mean, I really get a kick out of finding these deals and also, you know, bringing them to you guys. But I love finding a deal on there that just goes against the grain, that, you know, there's a company out there wanting a whole bunch of money, but yet there's somebody out there. Thank God for the aftermarket crews, man. Like, I love aftermarket companies that make things for different style bikes, you know. They make Harley style things for metric bikes and vice versa. And, you know, so companies like that I'm really interested in. They really intrigue me to, as you know, I am morphing this into, this is pretty much the Honda Davidson at this point. And I want to continue with that trend, if not just to piss off Harley owners. That's all. But anyways, I'm going to get this under here real quick. When I do the rear tire, I just put it towards the back here. I don't put it too much forward, so I'm just getting the back end off. So I go right towards the end and make sure that holds is good, yeah. And I don't hit my new light system that I put on there. But yeah, get that even. And let's get this jacked up. So as always, I always sit on the bike because I like to have full control of the bike front and back while I'm jacking it up because I don't want anything going on. So I just hook up instead of using the tool, I use my ratchet. It's a lot easier. Actually, you can just roll it by hand initially until you make contact, and then you can start with the jack. I probably should have got an extension for this, but maybe it needs a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just that. I mean, as you see, I just jump off of this thing now because I already know I can trust it. I got trust for it. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. So I basically just make sure that I'm on the bike and, you know, keep it secure as I'm cranking it up. But once she's on there, man, solid. Look at this. You'll never be doing this to your bike while it's just sitting in your garage. So a little bit of tooling and tugging, that's nothing either. So I don't have no problem with getting down, cranking on my tire, cranking on other stuff while it's sitting right up on here on this jack here. I mean, I do think it's kind of a good idea. I mean, if I can find a little piece of wood, if I am going to leave it up here for a prolonged long time, maybe putting a piece of wood in there and kind of jacking it down onto there, it seems like a good idea. But this is a basic screw mechanism. It's not hydraulic, so you really don't have to worry about that. It sits up there really nice. I'm going to be getting this tire off of here and get a nice fresh one on here. And then I'm still battling with this thing. I got to get this together. As you guys know, we have a trip coming up. And it's a pretty hefty trip. We're going to do about 3,000 miles. I got to have this thing ready because this is the one that I'm definitely going to be taking. I got everything on here, the backrest and everything. I put it a little further forward, and it's feeling a little bit better. I don't know. Jury's still out on the back rest. I need to put time in, you know, hours on it, instead of just like sitting there and, oh yeah, that feels good, or it doesn't feel good. It's a different position once you're on the throughway and you're like kind of lean back, you're in that one position and you're kind of humming along, you know. So I think that's when it's really going to shine. But it's a nice little addition. I have some other stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys for the trip that I got. That's going to be pretty much some essential items if you're going to be taking a long road trip, and you want to make sure that you have these items. So stay tuned for those videos. So they're going to be coming out really soon. So yeah, Titan has been doing awesome so far, with the exception of how the gas mileage is. I'm still tinkering around with this EFI that's under here. Like I said, I was on some forums and they were telling me, you know, 200. I have the 3-switch or the 3-dial EFI. It's a little bit older one that came with my Cobra pipes. So now Cobra made both of these, and the reason why I say that is because all the forums are saying, you know, 200, put the settings on, yet Cobra, in their manual, when you buy that in the EFI, they state something totally different. It's like 436 or 463. It's higher. It's a lot higher than that, which I'm assuming it probably is going to burn a lot more gas. And I'm not going to have the gas mileage, but it's going to get all the power. And I look at it like this, you know, if I'm going to get 100 miles to the tank anyways, I want all my power. And, you know, I'm going to have fun with the 100 miles that I do have, because my solution to that is sitting right up there. And that is a little bit, it's like a 1.3 gallon gas can that I'm going to be bringing with me, because we're going to be out in the Blue Ridge Mountains, man, and or the Blue Ridge Parkway, and out in the mountains there's not even cell phone service, and even gas stations are going to be few and far between. So I have to have a backup plan, and I want to get the most out of our fuel ups and stuff like that. Jeff's getting like over 200 miles on his Road King, or I mean his Road Glide. I got to keep up somehow. So it's small enough to where it's going to give me another like 30, 45 miles or whatever. And it's small enough to where I can pop it in these bags and it fits really nice. And I can fit some other stuff in there too. So it's old school, it's biker, but that's how I do things, man. I don't like the, you know, whole biker in the bag type of thing where, you know, go on the website and I got every little thing you'll possibly need. I like to figure it out on my own. I like to do old stuff and bungee things to my bike. Carry things on my bike, do it old school style basically. I don't need a product to be designed that does what, you know, old school bikers been doing for years. So I don't mind the bungees, I don't mind old school, I don't mind carrying a can of gas. It's gas, my bike runs on gas. It is what it is. So it's about necessity. As I said in previous videos, all of my bikes from the time I started riding, yeah, they have to look nice. I have to like what I'm looking at. And no, it's not for other people, it's for me. I have to think that it looks nice, but it also has to work. It has to get to work, meaning you got to hold something, man. You got to hold on to something. I can't just be coming out here with just, you know, whatever's in my pockets. So I always was like, you know, I need some kind of storage somewhere. And that's been big. So obviously on road trips you want storage, and I have plenty of that, and I have another solution to add even more, and like I said, that's another video that'll be coming soon. So anyways guys, just wanted to give you a quick update of what I'm dealing with and the frustrations. Hey, if any of you know what the heck is wrong with this reservoir cap, I'd love to know. Why don't you leave a message down in the comments and help a brother out, man. Anyways, see you soon.